Everyone, Nexus Gaming here, and I've just hit 100 hours in Crimson Desert, and I wanted to do a video on some of the movement tech that I've been doing and using consistently throughout my playthrough. So I've seen a lot of videos of how people do climbing, jumping, gliding, all that kind of stuff, and there's a few tricks and tips and things that I don't see many people doing. They are out there, but I'm going to make a video of all of the cool things that you can do in this game to maximize your distance, height, speed, all that fun stuff. So some skills I would recommend, and you'll see them in this video if it's something for you and something you're interested in. Obviously, you can spec into it. We're going to take a look at obviously the force palm, but more importantly, the aerial force palm. So I don't know if people have skipped this because I've seen so many playthroughs of people playing this and not using aerial force palm. It is my standard and it has been my standard since hour 5, hour 6, to get off the ground, get some air and fly. And then obviously you're also going to need the ability to fly with flight, swift flight, all that kind of fun stuff. I think everyone has that because that's, it's part of the movement style in this game. So those are some of the main skills we're going to need to maximize. And finally, focus. And you'll see why. Focus is more, I think this might actually be a glitch versus an intended mechanic, but we're going to go through it. So that force push off the ground, I'll get the exact name of it. Well, forget about it. I'm wasting time. But the push off the ground ability does this, if you didn't know. So you're jumping and you're pressing on the PlayStation your right stick in 3 times to get some good air, and it's a great starting point for flight. So yeah, it's like I said, it's the way I start off most of my runs. I'll be running around and my standard go-to would be starting my sprint, jump, triple, and sometimes do the double jump, start flying, and then as soon as my stamina runs out, land and go again, and just keep repeating that. There are some things you can do to make that even better. So I'm on the edge of a cliff here. So I want to go over to that cliff over there, or at least get to as close as I can. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to use the push off the ground, fly. Oh, that didn't work. I don't know why. Push off the ground. I pressed the wrong button. Fly, and then I'm going to use focus. Now, what focus does obviously slows down time. It makes your energy bar go back up again. But I don't know if it's an intended mechanic, but if you use the roll button like this, it actually starts putting you into a full speed flight. It starts the full speed flight and lets you use focus in slow motion while flying. So you can see how much stamina I'm using. And my stamina is quite high anyway. You can see how much stamina I'm using in relation to how much it would have taken me without this focus thing. It's a bit risky putting this video out because obviously I hope they don't patch it because it's my go-to really. So I've landed about here, and I could probably gone further if I tried harder. Something to consider when you're doing that move. I'm just going to do it again. Focus. You can use Unleash. Obviously, start the roll first to start the I guess glitch. But you can use Unleash to boost forward like this and increase your speed massively. To just have some fun flying around. It makes flying really interesting. I think to me, it should be how flying works. I feel like flying, while it's a fantastic mechanic, really, really cool, I do think it's a bit slow, and that actually clears up that problem massively. Now, another thing you can do, if you're like me and you like to explore mountains sort of in a natural way, I'm going to come up to this mountain here. And obviously, you've got loads of these stop points. I think it's really forgiving when it comes to climbing mountains in this game. You can climb mountains and stop at certain points, get your stamina back. But it's all about speed for me. If I want to get to the top of a mountain really quickly, I can just start climbing, do it normally, blah, blah, blah. What you can actually do is you can use your Axiom Force on the mountain and start that triple jump from here. So if I show you, for example, start my push off from here and then hit the triple jump button using R3 on the PlayStation, and I can resume another restart with an even quicker boost up the mountain. So I've cleared this mountain much quicker than I would by naturally trying to climb it. And you can do that for any mountain. I believe there is a limitation. I don't know if this is a glitch or if it's intended, but if you use your Axiom Force 3 times and it latch onto the mountain and then try and re-latch onto the mountain again and use it again, it doesn't let you. So I think there's a limit until your feet touch ground, how many times you can use that Axiom Force boost. But just something to be mindful of. Don't always depend on it when you're climbing mountains, but it is a great way of getting extra boost and speeding up your mountain climbing. Finally, so this is my baseline. This is what I do. This is how I play the game at the moment. I'm finding I'm having a load of fun with the triple jump and the flying and the focus and all that fun stuff. You can get anywhere. Something else people don't know, a side topic, is if you hold your torch button in the sky, you can actually use your torch to find. I've collected most things, but you can use your torch to find things while you're floating around, which is really useful. I've no examples. That's a shame, but you can. Might die. Anyway, so that's my basic sort of on the ground movement. Another thing, this is probably more important, is people seem to be sleeping on the Abyss. So obviously the Abyss is a great way of getting around places quickly that you don't have teleporters. And I know since they released the update with the teleporters being in far more places, people are not using the Abyss as much anymore. I say continue to use it. I always look at the Abyss first. If I'm going to a mission area, or if I'm looking to explore a little bit, or if I have an idea to search in a certain area that I haven't searched before, I'm going to try not to spoil anything. I'm just going to go to places that are familiar. What I'll do is I'll go to this one here. I'll generally, because of obviously the load time update, which is sped up load times, makes this whole thing much more fluid and much better, in my opinion. You can end up on a if there's a point you're trying to get to, which is like 500 meters away, 1,000 meters away, and you go to the nearest point, or you go to the nearest waypoint. It can take quite a lot of time to get there anyway, even if it's a short, seemingly short distance. But from the Abyss, if you're using the Abyss and you're doing the puzzles, which I find extremely rewarding and fun, you can just get to whatever point you need to from here. So what I like to do is, if I'm exploring and I see something on the map that might be in a distance, but I've picked it up with the sword and I see it, the focus light thing, and I see it in the distance, generally I won't walk towards it. I'll check and see if I've got an Abyss above it, and I'll do exactly what we spoke about earlier on to get to it. So if I want to get to, let's say, that tower over there in the distance, what I'll do is I'll do a triple jump from here, start the focus in the sky, fly, and it might take a while, but as you can see, I'm clearing some serious distance here. And it will keep going. And obviously, when you're in the sky, you get multiple chances at this. As you fall, your stamina regenerates. Another thing to consider, really, really important. I should have said it in the last bit, but you actually have stamina items that restore stamina. Now, obviously, it's clear as day you can use those on the ground. Yep. That's what they're used for, in combat, and you can use them but you can actually use them while you're flying as well. So if your stamina is starting to run low and you're flying pretty far, and you want to get to that point, and my stamina is, and I don't want to drop anymore, I just want to stay in the air, I want to keep rolling or get there even faster, you can use stamina items and restore your stamina. And there's an abundance of this stuff. If you're midway through the game, or if you're doing quite well, you can buy tons of items, or your farm is going to have items, or whatever it is to increase your stamina level. And I've created, I think I just cooked some honey tea, and that increased your stamina by 128, which is considerable. There's obviously items that increase stamina regeneration as well, and you can just keep doing this for forever. In essence, obviously you're dropping very slowly, so eventually you will land, but I can just keep doing this. Fill up my stamina again, and basically it's as much as your inventory can hold of these stamina based items. Obviously you don't really want to use the 5 stamina stuff because it's not going to be that much, but you want to start cooking food that is going to get you a high amount of stamina. And a lot of these abysses that you can get to, I'm not sure, I haven't actually tried, but you can definitely get to them, but I haven't tried to activate them because I don't want to skip ahead from where I should be or where I shouldn't be. But you can actually get to a lot of these abysses from the higher up abysses using this method right here. Now, as I said, I really hope they don't patch this. I really do like the fact that obviously it's a bit finicky. You're trying to use your focus to slow down time, all that fun stuff, but it's a choice. If you want to play like this, you can, and it speeds up travel, which to me in a single player game, why nerf things like that? It's a bit weird. And I've noticed they haven't really been nerfing mechanics that people have found quite helpful. So hopefully it stays that way, and if this video does get enough traction, that they don't consider getting rid of this, or maybe even make it the actual natural flying speed style, because I find that this is more realistic, really. Why can't Cliff fly as much as he wants to? So I'm entering into the atmosphere, or the below the abyss, and I can just go back into focus mode again, and you can see how much distance we've cleared from where we started. It is nuts. Where did we start? We started here. Look at that. And we've just breached the barrier. And we're going right towards this tower over here. It's crazy, but really fun, I must say. Like it makes me want to explore these areas. I see something in the distance and I'm like, okay, I can just fly as far as I want to fly, really. There's no limits. And like I said, you can use that unleash. You can use your sword in the air to see if there's any points. I don't know what the limit is, but oh, there it is. So you can start using your sword if you want to start to clear up some late game areas and start completing places. You can use your sword along with this method and land over there if I want to. I'm going to get my stamina back up again, use my focus, carry on going, and I'm going to go get those after this video is done. But you can see I've reached this tower. I think it is pretty much, I would consider this limitless. There's nothing stopping you from reaching these points. So yeah, as I'm coming into land on this tower, I'm drinking tons of wine and honey tea. I hope this video helps you, and if there's any other movement tech that you've discovered during your time, please share it in the comments and the replies. And I'd love to hear them, because I just want to maximize my enjoyment of this game, and I think this kind of stuff is really, really helpful. So yeah, we're just about to land. I'm glad I got to get all this stuff through in one take, really, and not have to do this in segments. Yeah, we're about to land, so I'm going to unleash, because I got to get out of the thing. And we're going to slow down. And we've just landed on the spire right here. Boom, boom, boom. We didn't use that many items to get there. I don't even think I needed that many, if anything. I could have pushed a bit harder instead of getting a bit distracted along the way, but we've landed. There we go. We have flown a distance, a considerable distance, which is great. So yeah, if you like this video, please leave a like and subscribe. If you're on Facebook, make sure you like the page, follow the page, and I'll see you guys in the next video.